This question is from Venu Gudimetla. If a person meditates on the formless consciousness and succeeds in realizing the Atman, will they be able to realize Ishvara, God with form, immediately? Or do they have to meditate again on some form of Ishvara? Does realizing Atman also mean one can see Paramatman immediately?
So let's put it in this way. If I realize I am pure consciousness, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, I am of the nature of consciousness, bliss, I am Shiva, the non-dual realization. Do I also automatically have a vision of God, as Kali or Vishnu or, Christ, in whichever form you worship God, whichever form you believe in God? Does that also come together? Is it a bonus? Is it an add-on, a topping on your pizza? The answer is no, it won't. Sri Ramakrishna says there are these two approaches to spiritual life. Once he was he was shown how a photograph is taken, not mobile phone and clicking. In those days it was much more complex thing. They had a plate on which they put silver nitrate, and that was used as a photographic plate to develop the image. And Sri Ramakrishna, of course, would relate everything back to spiritual life. And he says, this is it. If you put that, he would say moshla in Bengali. If you put that, smear it with that silver nitrate, then various forms will be caught on that plate. But if you do not smear it with that silver nitrate, just light streams through it. Pure light streams through it. Similarly, if the devotee's mind is conditioned by love of God in some form, my beloved Krishna, that name of Krishna, that form of Krishna, and I have conditioned my mind through years of devotion and practice, then you will have the vision of God and the presence of God. But if you do not, and if you practice the non-dual path, who am I? Inquiry into one's own real nature. As Sri Ramakrishna says, pure light will stream through. No particular form you will not experience any particular form. Or the other way around. He says, in the ocean, due to intense cold, the water freezes into icebergs in different places, different forms. And when the sun of knowledge arises, the icebergs melt back into the water. So, this is the other way around. Due to intense devotion, one realizes God in the form one wants to realize. It's a reality. It's the same water, by the way. This is also an answer to the earlier question, you see. The realization of God through devotion, dualistic approach, and non-dual realization. Sri Ramakrishna would say it's the same water. Whether you experience it as water, formless, or in icebergs with different forms. The icebergs form due to the intense devotion. I'm mixing metaphors here. The intense devotion makes that reality appear to the devotee in that particular form. It's still real. It's not imagination. It's still real. But then the devotee will also realize the reality of the God I've experienced is the formless pure consciousness. So when the sun of knowledge rises, the iceberg melts back into water. Here there's a little tweak Sri Ramakrishna added, because the devotional dualistic religions don't talk about this limitless, formless consciousness. They say God is in this particular form, Narayana, Vishnu, Devi, Shiva, Father in heaven, Jehovah, Allah, whatever form. And in whatever form means may not be a physical form, a conceptual form also. In that form, I am worshipping God, and that's the last thing. There is no further pure consciousness, I am Brahman, that's the final thing. So are they wrong? Are the dualistic religions wrong? Now, Sri Ramakrishna never, the non-dual approach, Advaita Vedanta would say they're not wrong, but it's lower. You have to still come up, we are up here now, come up here. That there is no further form of God, and there is only one limitless existence, consciousness, bliss. But this is again a kind of hierarchy, a kind of superiority of the non-dual approach. Sri Ramakrishna was against that. Why? He said it's the same reality. If you want to experience it in the form of an iceberg, do continue, because it's the same water, if it's your preference. He says, I have heard there are regions of eternal ice. So he was talking about the North Pole, the South Pole. I've heard that regions of eternal ice, there are regions of eternal ice where the ice does not melt. What he means by that is that the dualistic religion, those who want to love and worship God and remain eternally in the presence of God and enjoy the presence of God, they're also right. They can also experience that if they want. Which one is better? Which one should be? So the answer is given to the person who asked. If the realization of one does not automatically mean the realization of the other. It can lead you to realization in both ways. But which one is better? So a monk once asked Swami Shivananda. Swami Shivananda was one of the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna and the second president of our order after Swami Brahmananda. A monk asked Swami Shivananda, we read about these two ideals. One is to realize that we are limitless consciousness and be merged in that and remain as that. You don't retain an individuality anymore. Or remain as individual devotees in an eternal heaven with eternal God. So suppose I want to remain in the presence of Sri Ramakrishna in heaven, in Ramakrishna Loka. Which one? Which one will we attain? Or should we attain? And Sri Ramakrishna said, not Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Shivananda said to that monk, it depends upon your attitude. Bhava in Sanskrit, bhava, or Bengali, bhava. What attitude, how have you cultivated and built up your spiritual life? What is it that you aspire towards? And you will get, what your bhava is, that you will get. So that means we must intensely aspire to one or the other. We must try for something sincerely. Then he added, Swami Shivananda added, and this is very important. He said, but if you ask me, my child, I would advise you to leave it to Thakur, to Sri Ramakrishna. What will happen to us after enlightenment, after death, in lives in future? We don't understand these things. We have certain intellectual constructs by which we are trying to grasp things which are beyond our understanding. So, you may like one, you may not like the other one, but ultimately leave it to God. God will say, thank you. Not that we have much choice.